And through the magic of editing, I won, everyone.
And our winner, Garrett, thank you. You won a guest appearance on the show AFOLs Welcome.
I want my money back.
Hey, dude, I told you no refunds, okay?
No, this is fun. I appreciate you guys inviting me on.
Hello, bricks, chicks, and minifigures. You are listening to AFOLs Welcome, where we talk about all things Lego from the perspective of two adult collectors. We're your co-host. I'm Grinch.
And I'm West.
And today we are going to have a little fun, and we are going to be competing on the Ultimate Lego Quiz, but it won't be West and I. It will be our special guest, Garrett Gourley, who is the host of the Back2Brick podcast. But as always, before we get him on the show, West, I've got a question for you.
What's that, Grinch?
What did you build this week?
Just been excited to kind of peruse the Lego universe and continue to kind of just take in as much as I can. I did finish the latest season of Lego Masters. This was about a week ago, and that was surprisingly better than I think how we predicted it would go in the beginning, I'll say. I'm still not sure it's out of the woods yet, but I was happy with the way it ended. So
just now you got to watch Lego Masters Australia.
I do.
And you'll be down under the woods.
Get involved in that. And I did want to shout out a Lego designer on Instagram of the name Balham Bricks. They're from the UK. And they did the thing I was suggesting, which was taking the new Spider-Man versus Doc Ock set and effectively taking 3 of those train cars and putting them together. Balham Bricks put it in their city, motorized it, and you can see what it looks like in the city, and it just looks wonderful. It truly looks like that was what was meant to be there. So shout out to Balham Bricks for doing, we're all on the same page there with what that set really should be used for, and I'm glad you made it work. So, what about you, Grinch? What were you building this week?
Well, this week, of course, this is not being recorded Monday. So this weekend, I will actually be building some sets. I'm going to pick up the Speed Champions S2000, but I haven't built it yet, technically. But by the time I'm talking in your ear right now, I would have built it, and it was going to be awesome. I can tell you right now. I'm really glad they did these Fast and the Furious collabs. I have not built it yet, but I'm excited to this weekend because it's been a very crazy week. I spent last week looking at houses, priorities, being an adult, there, unfortunately, it's called an adult fan of Lego, not just a fan of Lego, which means reluctantly I must
responsibilities.
Adult. Yeah. But my Denver Broncos won in the most epic comeback of the decade. So that was exciting to see this past weekend. And otherwise, things are good over in the Grinch household. So Lego in my future, though, which is even more exciting. And I did talk last week about how I was working and moving on to a new mock project. So hope to get that a little bit more fleshed out as well, which is all very exciting. But do you know what else is exciting? What, West? Exciting Lego news.
All right, Grinch. Well, this week we're still kind of in a little bit of a lull between now and the winter holiday and Christmas and the January 1 reveals. There's some interesting rumors out there, but I'll tell you, stranger things have happened. So, but what was revealed, as of our recording today, the Lego Ideas Walsh's Addict Goonies gift with purchase was revealed, along with the Lego Ideas The Goonies set number 21363 officially announced. Grinch, what do you think?
Is this we've had gift with purchases with Lego Idea sets, right? Botanical Garden had one. We've had idea gift with purchases, but is this the first time the ideas set has had an ideas gift with purchase as well?
I mean, it very might well be.
These are the things that keep me up at night. It's hard being a Lego fan.
I think you need to pick up a book.
That was the problem. Is I did. I got so bored that I had to go to Reddit.
Oh dear.
Dude, you got to give me a break. I had poop water coming out of my floors in my temporary house this week, so it's been a doozy.
That sounds like some exciting Lego news.
I had the Goonies coming out of the ground in the house I'm in right now. So I did see, obviously this was announced, and I've seen the Goonies. We've been to that place at the Thing, in the place of the city of the Thing in Oregon.
Astoria, Oregon.
Yeah, there you go. I knew you would know what it was. I was pretending to be present in the family moment when we went there. I totally got it.
Did you go there?
Yeah, I had eggs Benedict at that breakfast spot.
No, that's Cannon Beach.
Good old eggs Benny. Isn't that the Goonies?
No.
Oh, well, I also have been to Astoria with the seals.
There are sea lions in Astoria. Now, there's also sea lions in Newport, Oregon, south of Cannon Beach. So
I can confirm I have been to Astoria, though.
Okay.
We got ice cream. Not us. I went with our parents.
I see.
Yeah. So, been to this. I saw this set there. No. Just kidding. But it looks okay. Not a huge Goonies fan myself. It's a little bit before my generation, as we've talked about a lot of the 80s stuff. It's certainly an interesting set. It almost from a impartial, party that's not like dying here in nostalgia. I will say it from a set design standpoint, it feels a little similar to the One Piece set that we got. Again, I'm kind of an impartial fan of, but I'm aware of those IPs. I'm aware of Goonies. I'm not a diehard fan. I would really not even consider myself like a fan. I've seen the movie. One Piece, I've never read. I've never really engaged, but I know what it is. These sets feel similar, right? Just design wise. So I wonder, they're both kind of these big ship facades on one side, and then you turn it around and you got more of a, traditional play set interior where you can kind of do your little Lego dollhouse thing. So, while they're completely different IPs, they're both these facades. They're $330. Obviously the one is a little bit weirder. It's a restaurant with the kind of fish head, and this is a pure sunken ship. But my initial thought when I saw this was like, wow, we've never really seen a ship like this. And I was like, wait a second. I think there's a One Piece set that's very similar on the market right now. So something I noticed with two sets I'm going to enjoy from the distance.
Yeah. Much like you, Grinch, I just really never engaged with this IP much as a child, and so I don't have a huge nostalgic factor that's playing into the Goonies discussion here. Certainly enjoy some of the actors who are in it and some of the work that they've done, and I understand its cultural cachet and kind of the larger cultural zeitgeist. And a big fan of Astoria, Oregon, and everything that the Oregon coastline has to offer. And so very much a fan of the setting of the show. So you'd think the show would be right there up my alley, and truthfully, it is not. And so this just never really tripped my trigger when it was announced as a thing. When Lego said they were going to be exploring the Goonies, and seeing it now, I'm still pretty impartial to it. I don't think my heart rate has gone up at all. I don't feel any wallet fatigue or excitement, because there's just not a lot of feeling in general towards this thing. The one thing that I did feel was a little surprised, because if you see the one side, the side with all of the place features on it, that is the side, as it appears, that Lego intends to be presented towards the viewer, right? And that has all of the different features. It looks like there's some rocks and some trap doors and all sorts of shenanigans occurring that I am sure happened at some point in the movie. Tick the box on this movie reference and that movie reference, and I'm sure it's wonderful. Goonies fans, I bet, will love it. The back of the set is effectively the right side of the ship, however, and that is really well detailed. And it's surprising to see how well detailed it is for what on the surface appears to be the side that isn't meant to be necessarily viewed all the time. And that was a very big criticism of like the Lego Death Star. UCS Death Star was the back of it, right? It was just, you couldn't even really display the back of it. It needed to be back up against something, which I don't know if that's like a fair criticism, but when I saw the back of the Goonies set, I said, man, I wonder if someone could buy two of those, and I bet you could reverse build it. It won't translate completely with some of the curved elements, but you could buy some, and you could probably put together a really cool looking ship based off of effectively what is two halves of a ship. And it would be one of the bigger Lego pirate ships ever made. I think it would even rival probably the Black Pearl, and the modern Black Pearl in size and scale. So I'm curious. This feels a lot like that pyramid set that Lego came out with, that people just sort of bought two of them and put them together. I'm curious when we start seeing images of that on Instagram amongst kind of the larger Lego AFOL community. But that was really where my mind went to on this one. And I'm not necessarily arguing like it's incomplete per se. It's left me scratching my head, much like the reel that we recently published about the aquarium. I'm just kind of like, I'm not really sure what this is going for here.
Well, it's true to the Lego Ideas submission from the contest, and I wonder if that's why they put so much effort into the facade, because or the bow of the ship and all that, because I believe the idea submission was displayed that way, and then you turned it around. But my guess is Lego is doing it the opposite, to be like, no, like, you play in this, like this is a thing, it's not just a half a ship, right? So I wonder if that was intentional or not. Maybe just seems like a conscious decision, perhaps.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree with that. I just still stand by. I'm just, I don't know. Maybe it's just a general apathy towards what is here, but
$330 Lego sets.
Another $330 Lego set. Yeah.
Well, that leads me to a question for you, West, because while this is not in the news, it's not a rumor. We've discussed we don't cover leaks. This is pure speculation. 3 years ago, and by 3 years ago, I mean 2 years ago. Actually, just kidding. I do mean 3 years ago. We got Lego Avatar, the Blue People sets for the Way of Water movie that was coming out. And I believe we have another Avatar movie coming out. And the sets weren't announced for the Way of Water until after the movie released. We got the original movie sets earlier announced. I believe they actually came out October 1st of that year because I picked them up in the office set right as I was moving into San Diego at the time. And my question to you is, do you think we get sets for the Fire, whatever it's called, Avatar movie that's coming out? Because you would think maybe they'd announce some, or do you think they're keeping it under lock and key and they're going to come out January 1st, just like the Way of Water sets did? Because if you recall, well, I think initially those sets were received fairly well. I saw a lot of them on sale eventually, and they stayed on sale, which is typically a sign of a theme that's not selling well. So
Yeah.
curious to know your thoughts there. Do you think we get those or no?
I mean, it's tough. This last 2 weekends ago, as of the time of recording, right around the time that Tron Ares came out in movie theaters, they also re-released the original Avatar on movie, in theaters. And I really, other than seeing like a trailer announcing that, didn't hear much about, pun intended, didn't make a huge splash. I just don't know, man. I mean, this last Avatar movie kind of came and went, and I would
It
agree.
still got it $2 billion, like it still was successful by all means. But
I mean, yes and no, right? Like, I think that's the weird thing with movies is like, you can get a movie that has a great box office showing, and if you're just measuring by money, like, yeah, sure, it can be successful, but if it just doesn't really make like a ripple in like the first movie truly was, for better or for worse, I think game changing to some extent, right? And this isn't the podcast to the debate, this isn't the adult fans of Lego film podcast, right? So like we don't have to necessarily debate like film theory and film history here, but I just, if they come out with a wave of Lego sets for this Avatar theme, we had some indicators ahead of time. There were some leaks of Avatar body styles and stuff coming out. We knew the movie was
announced
coming out,
it
right?
at New York Toy Fair. I mean, it was they have, but remember those sets came out in October for the first movie, and then these second, the Way of Water sets appeared January 1st, just on the shelf, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm saying though is like, you're right. This is speculation. We aren't talking about leaks, but like we haven't gotten any leaks of like, tall red legs or something like that for the Fire.
We can't talk about the leaks, but we can talk about that we haven't gotten any.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not illegal, right? Like, which isn't to say it couldn't be in the works. It's just to say that like we haven't seen anything. There's been no like pieces or molds, unique molds that have kind of slipped through. And so, in this way, kind of, yeah, I mean, we can comment on like, there really haven't been any clues hinting that this could be a thing. I believe it's a December release for this movie. So I think here's my suspicion. I bet if the movie does really well, we'll see a summer release wave. No, that's way too fast. Oof, I don't know, Grinch.
I think it's either in the works or it's not. That's why it's a little brain teaser, huh? I mean, even the second movie, dude, is the third highest grossing movie of all time. Like, it's number 1 and number 3. Like, that's gotta mean so. Like, it's owned by Disney. There's a good partnership there with Lego. Like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to your point, right? Like the sets it appeared they didn't sell well. So
correct. I liked them.
I mean, they were cool. Unique piece colorations and stuff, and unique terrain builds and whatnot. And we have some of the interesting mechs and vehicles combined with like interesting organic builds. I think they were really interesting. I don't know. It's a hard one to tell, and I think if I had to be a betting man,
What you do? You
I
can
would
do that on Kalshi, by the way.
I would
Those
probably
ads are driving me nuts.
yeah. I would suspect we probably get a small wave, and I'm thinking maybe more of a March release based on the fact that we haven't seen a ton yet.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know how do you feel about that answer?
I think if I was going to assume we were going to get them, it'd be January 1st, period. If we don't get them January 1st, they're not coming. But
I know
if I had to bet, I don't think
I
we
struggle
get 'em.
January because we haven't seen anything yet. So
But we didn't see anything for the Way of Water sets either. Like they kept them tight. They were like, yep, here's some more sets.
We knew that the original ones had come out, so it's fair to assume that when
they said that we were
sequel,
getting more sets. Yeah, they were like, hey, we are getting, but we just didn't see leaks or anything like that.
Right. And Lego has been pretty tight on their leaks, so it's even to the fact that we are commenting right now like we haven't seen anything isn't necessarily the indicator that it used to be that like this isn't happening. So yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if Disney and Cam, you could kind of see this with Marvel and Star Wars as both properties started to struggle under the weight of like the canonical weight that they had, right? Where both, new Marvel movies would get like one set maybe, right? Like what was the Hulk versus Captain America, the latest whatever movie that was with the Red Hulk. I think that was
Brave New World. We got 3 sets.
Yeah,
3
right.
sets.
But like older Marvel sets, I feel like you'd get like 5, 6 to a movie, or you get one set for each season, right? Lego Obi-Wan.
For the big Avengers movies, you'd get 4, 5, 6 sets, and then they do like one set for like Black Widow. You'd get the one off for the because at one point they were doing the 3 movies a year, so they would just do like one small set, which made it fun and nice to collect because you got
you weren't getting
you
flooded.
could get all the yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is I wonder if Lego and Disney are kind of hedging their bets a little bit here. Not to necessarily see how well the movie performs to then release a set, but seeing. But then, like you said, by all indications, the second movie performed well. I don't know, man. I got the impression in the United States it did not perform well. So I wonder if that's more of an international box office.
$2.3 billion.
But across the world, right? So
yeah, that's global. But still, 700,000 domestic. Like that's no joke. That's $750 of a billion. And I said 700,000, but 700 million.
Yes,
it's this weird anomaly of a franchise, right? Because if you sit here and you say, "What's the greatest franchise of all time?" Like this franchise averages today. It's December or October 2025. Movie third one hasn't come out yet. This franchise averages $2+ billion a movie. There is no franchise that does that. There's only 2. We're getting the third. This could drastically change, but it's an anomaly of a franchise, right?
I think it is and it isn't, right? Because like the first movie, again, like I think an inflection point in like the larger role of cinema, the use of CGI and motion capture in the way that they did. I think the second movie's success rode off of the first movie's hype. I think if you watch the second movie, objectively, it doesn't advance the story in a meaningful way, right? Like, hey, here's
it's almost
people.
A reboot.
Here's some new blue people.
Bro,
we're going to continue this idea
they're
that
the Na'vi. They're the Na'vi. You can't call it like it's 2025. Okay. All right. Please. God, I'm sorry about
the
him.
The themes
folks.
in the story are the exact same, right? Humans are bad. They're trying to take away the natural resources of this planet, endowed in either the actual, environment itself in the first movie, or in the second movie in the creatures themselves, and the Na'vi need to stand up to fight them, right? And that's the same theme in both movies. And in both movies, they experience loss and but like, it's the same movie. It's just repeated with a different environment this time. I'm curious if the team at Avatar can advance the script or theme beyond those generic elements anymore, right? Now in this new movie, we understand that the Na'vi that live near the volcano are not necessarily the same Na'vi that lived in the water or in the trees. Like, there's a little bit more of a beef there, it sounds like. So we could be seeing some more interesting dynamics, but anyways.
And this has been Movies We Pretend to Understand with your host, West and Grinch. Overqualified, underanalyzed. Wait. Overanalyzed, underqualified. No,
what I will just say is I think the second one really rode the coattails of the first one, and so I think what we'll see with this third one is to
rode
your
the
point.
Coattails.
Yeah,
it came out like 13 years after the first one. How can you ride the coattails?
I think there was a lot of hype and expectation, right? And I think because even James Cameron's like, I got 4 of these in my head, like I gotta finish them.
He said 9. He said 9, dude. There's a what's a 10-cent sequel over here? There's 10 of these bad boys coming out.
A trilogy of trilogies.
This is the Fire People. We're about to meet the Skywalker saga, if you would.
I think
it turns out Quaritch was actually he's
gonna end it,
and he's gonna say, "I'm not Quaritch, I'm Blue
your father."
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how this movie performs. I think if it performs well, Grinch, then I think you're absolutely onto something with this idea that this franchise is truly the behemoth that it feels like it probably is. If this movie
that it doesn't feel like it is, though, like you never hear like people like. Did you go into work at December 18th, 2022, and somebody's like, "Man, just got back from Avatar: The Way of Water," like just dude, breathtaking. It turns out Quaritch was his father the whole time, which actually, wait, spoiler alert, because that is true. That did happen.
That he's his father?
Yeah, there's the human guy that they saved. His name's Spider, something like that. And it turns out it was Quaritch.
I meant Sully.
Yeah,
himself. That was... But yeah.
This has been Spoiler Alert, a podcast where we spoil all your movies you haven't seen.
Another check mark in the tropes, standard movie tropes category. Father and son dynamics.
Well, this was meant to be a 2-minute question, and this is a really good time to remind all the listeners that I actually spend like 5 minutes uploading that. When I upload this, to put chapters in the description. So if you ever want to skip ahead to the main topic, feel free. Click that more information button. Go down to the description on YouTube, and there are chapters on every single episode of AFOLs Welcome. If not, West, you have 30 seconds to finish the thought.
Yeah, I mean, we just haven't seen a ton yet from the new movie, so it'd be curious to see if they could do, like, if I were to really take the Avatar franchise and go full Lego with it, that big planetary lander ship from the first movie would be a really badass, like, MIDI-scale ship. I think that would be really cool. The hovercraft from the second movie would be a really cool MIDI-scale ship. I feel like both are maybe leaning a little bit too much into sort of the military side of things for Lego, but remember, it's not a problem if it's IP.
Not if there's blue people involved, yeah.
Well, Na'vi, Grinch, Na'vi. So,
we're going full. But
I mean, revisiting some of those characters would be fun. We had they had the helicopter. I thought that was an interesting I thought it was too small. That was kind of my take on it. I thought it was a great idea. I just didn't think the execution was super great. But I mean, I thought there was a lot of fun stuff in the theme to enjoy.
Yeah, I thought they're great sets
from afar. I might even pick up the quadcopter set just for fun these days, because between that and the trailer, I thought that actually was a pretty solid little set. So a lot of cool parts in that. And you know what? Like, to your point, a lot of innovative stuff out of Lego there. The longer legs, right? You had the hair pieces with like the hookups so that the Navi could
got a lot of cool recolorings.
Connect. Yeah, a lot of recolorings. We had the wheelchair that was finally, you know, under 4 studs wide, so it could fit into like a regular doorway, which was why I think Lego made the 6 wide doorway to begin with, and then they just solved the wheelchair problem, so then they kind of didn't need to do that. But neither here nor there. We got some great 6 wide doorways. We got 4 wide doorways. We got tons of wheelchair options now. Like, there was a lot of good stuff to come out of this wave. So yeah, that's kind of my take. So I would be happy with more Avatar stuff. I'd be curious to see what they have next. I haven't seen the movie. I mean, we haven't seen the movie, right? So like, maybe there's some really cool vehicles that we haven't seen yet that we're like, dang, that would be so cool in Lego, right? So happy to see
Chief
that made.
From Rock Raiders, he's gonna emerge from this volcano. I'm telling you, we're gonna be there for it. It's gonna be great.
It's a collaboration between Lego Rock Raiders and Lego Avatar.
Just spoiler alert, by the way. Yeah. No. Well, and I think, as you mentioned, interesting thing here. You've not seen a lot about this movie, and I think it's just worth pointing out too that, you know, The Way of Water, they advertised that thing a year in advance. They were showing the trailers in theaters the Christmas prior to it being released, you know, that Christmas next year. So anyways, I think our guest is waiting in the waiting room. Theoretically, we may or may not have pre-recorded that part and are just recording this in the future, but he's waiting. Today's topic. All right, so as I mentioned up top, today we are joined by Garrett Gorley, the host of the Back2Brick podcast, and we will be doing the ultimate Lego quiz, or I should say West and Garrett will be doing the ultimate Lego quiz. Of course, I will be moderating us through it and trying to make West life miserable throughout. But before we do that, Garrett, welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight?
Thanks. Great to be here. Doing fine. You know, you can be honest. Busy time of week. We just talked about that. It's a Wednesday, but it feels like it's Monday still, or Friday, depending on where you're going.
I spent literally all day thinking it was Thursday, and you know, the episode of The Office where they like get Dwight to leave for the weekend, like that could have been me. So I get it.
But you know, I'm here, so I'm gonna have a good time.
And a good time you will have. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? You have a podcast, Back2Brick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my name's Garrett Gorley, as we already talked about at the top. I've been in Lego community for actively probably since 2016, 2017. Podcast started in 2018, and my Instagram, which that's a whole nother story, but that was pretty strong, and I've been at Lego conventions, and of course life, and of course this is the cat Aria. She will be here for most of this.
Brave soul.
And yeah, so long life with Lego since I was probably 5 or 6. And then, yeah, I run a podcast, Back2Brick. That's a number 2. And also the Instagram, I have a YouTube channel that I've been doing as well. So lots of everything social you can think of, I've been there or am there.
And we had a fun little story of meeting where you actually reviewed my Weathertop mock on your podcast, and then we had one of the listeners of AFOL Welcome write us and say, "Hey, Back2Brick just talked about your Weathertop mock," and then lo and behold, that actually happened on the way to Brick Fair, Virginia, and then you saw the mock there, and we're like, "Hey, I'm this." I'm like, "Oh my god, somebody just told me I listened to your show on the way down." So that was a small world moment for sure.
Yeah, and for anyone reference, at the end of the podcast, I always I talk about the news, but then at the end, I do a review on a Lego set and then a Lego mock, and I choose it usually from Brickable, and I saw yours, and I'm just like, "That's awesome," and, it's whatever I wanna pick, I try to do variety, but Lord of the Rings is up there, and that one was pretty good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And the listener Rob Walker, he writes in often. He just said, "Hey, he featured your block. Go check it out." And I was like, "This is kind of nerve wracking because I somebody is talking about like this is candid feedback here, right? This is Garrett probably has no idea I'm about to go listen to this thing, so I'm gonna I could go
Well, I
on there.
usually notify people. I don't know if I did at that point because usually I message people on Rebrickable or Instagram saying like, "Hey, like I loved your mock and I featured it this week, so if you want to go check it out on the pod." And I am very unfiltered. If there are things that I don't like, I usually say, but most of the time I've picked it because I like it, so I only have good things to say.
So when you've said you've seen a seagull eat a Lego brick and cough up a better build than my Weathertop mock, because that was real.
That was real. Yeah. I
Real
mean,
feedback,
the
yeah.
seagull, it's built some crazy things. It would eat a fish and then it just came out as a
Yeah.
Lego fish.
I mean, that's impressive. Nah, I'm just kidding. Garrett said very very nice things. So thank you for featuring it. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and your journey here with the beloved brick, if you would.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I've been building with Lego since I was about 5 or 6 and probably had my first mock when I was like 8. So then I just continued. I didn't have a dark age until kind of recently, but we'll talk about that. But the events of just like continuing to build, I was super into Harry Potter, super into the adventures and tons of the classic sets. And Star Wars has always been there since '99. So that has a long history. And just kind of built through there where I decided, well, like I want to feature a lot of builds on Instagram. And that's where it kind of started my kind of following was featuring other people's builds. And then it didn't feel good in the way that I was doing it because it felt like I was taking away recognition instead of giving. So I kind of moved away from that and started doing my own work more so and really talking about the news was the biggest thing. And from there, I had 2 COVID projects in 2020. One was redoing our backyard and 2 was creating a podcast. And the podcast has been going for now 5 years. It's in the 5th season. And I took some time off from my job and did my own thing for a while. For about 2 years, I tried to build my Instagram, my YouTube, all the socials. I did a lot of commission work. And then I just recently moved and got a new job because, well, I miss people. Being home alone isn't the best all the time. And money is nice because then it buys you more Lego. Um, so that's where the Lego journey has brought me. And it's been roller coaster as always. So is that enough? You need more?
We always need more, just like Lego.
But Garrett, I do want to highlight. I mean, you talked about initially on your Instagram account feeling like you were taking away recognition from builders, and I think that's one of the. It's a really. I want to pull on that thread for a second, if we can, Grinch, because I think that idea is one that's really challenging with Lego, right? Because like anyone can build anything. You can see something, you can reverse engineer it yourself if you see enough of it or you kind of know enough Lego techniques and you've got the pieces to do it. And it creates, we talked about this with Sobek a little bit on one of our past episodes about, claiming things for the first time in Lego, right? And there's like only so many combinations of things and, who gets the credit for stuff. And it's just such a complicated kind of thing to do in Lego. And so I applaud you for recognizing. I mean, I don't know if that was necessarily the case, but you certainly felt like that was the case. And the fact that you kind of felt like a little uncomfortable with that and were like, maybe I need to find a better way to do this, I think is really, really cool. So
Yeah, I think I just see a lot of things in the Lego community because I've been here so long
Hmm.
that I tried to build myself up as a influencer instead of a creator. And that's not what I am. I'm a creator. And I think that using people's other content, this is how I felt at the time. I was growing my Instagram. I'm still asking permission for some, but then I wasn't. I was just like, oh, I have a following. People are going to like that I featured this stuff. And at that point, I just realized I'm just trying to grow and get numbers. And that's not beneficial for everybody. Sometimes it is, sure. Then people get to see the different work. And, there's so many other people that do similar things. So it is helpful sometimes for people, but I just saw it as a way that like, well, I'm the creator. Maybe I should create things. I'll talk about the news because uh, I can give my own opinions on it,
Hmm.
and kind of move from that point of using somebody else's to mine and talking about things. I don't know if that did that answer that.
Yeah, it does, right? And I think that just, like I said, I applaud you for recognizing that. And as like an influencer in kind of the more truer sense and maybe not necessarily like the commercial sense, uh, I appreciate you influencing the community in a more positive way, right? A healthier way, a way where attribution is very much a part of, a core part of what you do. And I know for us, I think it is as well. And because you're right. I mean, like if you didn't create it yourself, right? Like we need to acknowledge that and share, with the person who created it, the spotlight too. So I just really appreciate that kind of mindset and outlook.
I wouldn't even. I mean, I'd say it's a positive. It's a net positive at the end of the day, but it's also a transparent way, right?
Mhm.
So much of social media now is, like you said, can be clout or like, oh, just go look at this, look what I did. I actually, it's a really deep and it's a very intricate discussion too, because I've gone to conventions and somebody has what's very obviously like the Daily Bugle, for example, but they take off the red pieces and they're like, "Yeah, look at my skyscraper." And there's people there in the crowds that are just I don't want to say the word casual because it kind of sounds like derogatory, but like a more casual
That's fine.
Lego
Yeah.
fan. They kind of come in. That maybe they're there because their kids wanted to go, and they're like, "Oh man, look at that amazing skyscraper." And that guy, "Oh yeah, no, I built this," and it's like, but it's almost this like you know dark side of the hobby that people don't like to talk about. I had that very mock you referred and showed on your show. I had somebody reach out on Rebrickable and say, "Hey, just want to let you know I love it." They bought the instructions. I loved it. And I'm gonna feature it at my local comic book convention. It's gonna be the centerpiece of our Lord of the Rings display. And I'm like, yeah, oh, so it's gonna say your name. I'm like, oh, it just kind of
Uh,
like all hit me, and I'm like, dude, should I even sell these on Rebrickable? Like, if this is how I
yeah.
feel about, and ultimately, somebody could share the post that I made, right? Somebody could share that post, right? That's just the kind of unfortunate nature of social media. So I got around to it at the end of the day. Like we're still all here for the love of the brick, but it is a really, I mean, I think we could talk a whole episode on this topic because it's a very intricate topic.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
mean,
and,
I don't
and
wanna drive
oh,
the topic this direction
No, go
if we
right.
don't want to go.
Drive away.
I am all about the transparency of it because there is a dark side to all of this. I mean, we could go discuss the land program. Like, for me, I'm old. I mean, I'm not that old. I'm 33, but
Oh my god,
I'm
dude.
old enough to say that
You're
I
so
you're
old.
hate the
Geez, I'm
what
31. Like, come on, boomer.
uh, yeah, sorry. I'm still a millennial. I'm still in the crowd.
Can you see
Um
okay? Do I need to make it brighter?
Usually the font does get a little bigger. I wore my
Yeah.
glasses today at work, and I don't like to wear my glasses. Um, but like what was I saying?
You're talking about the LAN
Like
and
I'm old. Oh yeah,
kind of the
sorry.
darker stuff.
I'm old enough to know that I hate memes. Like I love watching them. I hate creating them. the amount of people that became Lego influencers because they made 1,000 memes and have recognition beyond what I've ever had. And there's a level of jealousy, there's a level of envy to it for sure. But I mean, and I could have been successful by putting myself in that kind of position since that's what worked, but it just wasn't me. Did I squander a little bit of time because of that? Yeah, for sure. But uh, I feel like I'm just gonna badmouth people, so I'm just gonna stop talking about it. But the the dark side is there is always something that's changing and influencing in the background. Like you said, I mean, I had a before Back to Brick, I had iBrickheads where I just did brickheads, and I had Chinese companies remaking them. So it was
Mm,
flattery, but then also stealing my intellectual property at the same
yeah.
time. And a lot of people in the community, I had then the brickheads community, same thing, trying to understand like, oh, like you stole my idea or like my process. I'm like, well, that was kind of the only way I could make a spherical head. So it wasn't stealing; it was kind of influenced by it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really intricate topic, right? Because and I think just like you mentioned, memes like leaks is another one, right? Like you could just leaks
Hmm.
get clicks, and I think what Wes and I made the decision to not feature leaks, not because a lot of people do it because they want to go for land. We're just like we
Hmm.
don't want to be spreading false information that when we want when people come to the show, we want them to come and you know leave being able to trust the word at least, right? And we'll correct
Yeah.
ourselves, if we ever knowingly make a mistake. And leaks is not, it's not part of that value proposition.
Well,
You know, we
yeah. I mean,
also
my first Back to Brick. Sorry, go ahead, Ian.
no, I was just gonna say we also just made that conscious decision because we realized that with leaks especially, like you're chasing speed, right? Like if you're the third person to leak something, it's not as influential as if you're the first person. And so I think for both Grinch and I, like neither of us had the capacity to be on Reddit 24/7, and I don't have my phone for a large point of my portion of my job, and so like I don't I just can't sit there and scroll and whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, we made that conscious decision. A little bit of it was like a work life balance decision. A little bit of it was a practical decision. But like Grinch said, like I think there was something to also just the fact that we had seen so much damage done by leaks in. I mean, we've talked about the historical example of the Hogwarts Express, the large one, and how it just really seemed like it influenced the community in one direction, everything that was leaking, and then it never lived up to the expectation that had been built up. Ironically, it more or less was exactly what was proposed in the leaks. It just wasn't what everybody envisioned. And so it just felt like it fell really flat because of that. And we just didn't want to contribute to kind of that
Yeah.
stuff.
And I mean, my first Back to Brick account got deleted because I used leaks. And
Mm,
then my most recent one is suspended because they claim that I leaked something. Um, so I'm going through a whole legal process trying to get that one back. Uh, but it's hard because you're just playing the game of being first. It's the same as any news network. You want to be the first out of the
Hmm.
gate so you get the most likes, so you get the most follows and everything. And then it just gets tiring because you can't keep up. There are people, like you said, that are always online, have templates ready to go the second something comes out. Like the most recent leaks of for Stranger Things, like everyone's throwing it out there. And I'm like, that's cool. I'll talk about it on my podcast because I'm just talking about it. I'm gonna say, hey, there were some leaks this week. This is what I think about at least the leak pictures. Is it worth $300? I don't know, but I love the minifigures. Like that's kind of the spiel I do for it because I'm not showing images. I'm not going into like major detail on it because what wasn't the other leak is Star Trek, which will be coming out expected in December, and talking about like I'm a big Star Trek fan. It looks, at least from what images that were leaked at the time, looks really cool. And I think that we're gonna have something really good for Star Trek fans. It's kind of it. Like I'm not gonna read off like this is the printing that they have and this is the expected piece counts with the colored whatever or sticker counts. And I don't think it looks like Yeah, I mean, I'm talking. I'm a talking head. There's no image of me doing that. I've tried on YouTube, but it takes too long. I hate editing, so it just kind of it was a thing for like a month or two, and then it kind of died off because at that point it was so much effort for little reward. But yeah, I get it. I mean, good conscious decision to not do that because you're right. It hypes up the experience for some. The Death Star was a huge one that we all saw recently that went like real
Mhm.
fast.
Yeah.
So
And then everyone still bought it apparently. So just didn't really
yeah, I
understand
mean, I
that.
like it in person. I like it. Do I wish it was a sphere? Sure. I mean, I have the original Death Star 2 sphere, which is super cool. But it is a vignette. It is just a
Yeah.
multiple
Hmm.
vignette that they put into a form that's a Death Star. Is it worth $1,000? No, absolutely not. Minifigures they only have a couple of the good ones, and honestly, it's not better than the Falcon. The Falcon's better.
It
Heard it
is
here first,
the
guys.
Sorry, this is me rambling.
the
This
it
is what
is
I
the
do.
worst $1,000 Lego set, and it's also the best. That's all I can say. And that's
There
how
you
you
go.
sit on a fence, you guys. That is how you sit on a fence. So
It's not a comfortable place to be.
what yeah, it does you could tell me about that, yeah. What is your favorite set? If you had to pick.
Built or unbuilt?
I will let you cop out and answer both of those if you want, because
See, this is me on the fence. I'm
nobody's asked
choosing.
that yet. Yeah.
No, but it's
Unbuilt,
fair.
the
That's fair.
Titanic. Unbuilt is the Titanic. It's in the box still. Built set. It's a great question. What is a good one that I really enjoy? I really enjoyed Rivendell, the build of Rivendell,
Yeah.
because I'm a
Rivendell's
Lord of the
great.
Rings fan and capturing so many of the features in it. Is it the most complicated build? No, but the Bugatti Chiron was, and I'm not going to do anything with it. It has a wall mount, so it does actually sit on the wall once I put it up. But I also enjoyed the Concorde. I built that recently, but
Oh, that's a great one.
yeah. So there are, and it also depends on what you like too. Like the
Mhm.
Ornithopter is great for the techniques they use for all the mechanics and stuff. But yeah, I'll cop out Rivendell.
It's I'll just say it's been said before on this podcast, so it's a good one. And is
Yeah.
your favorite theme Lord of the Rings then, or if you had to pick a favorite theme?
It's not. I'm a Star Trek guy, but
So TBD, wink, 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 wink.
yeah. Then the new theme, if they do it right, will be Pokemon. But I don't know if they're gonna do it right.
Oof.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
we
find that out in
will
January.
see about that.
But I think ideas might be my favorite, just based on people have such diverse range of things
Mhm.
that we've done. Have they done them right every time? No, but people get the opportunity to have builds in, which is cool.
Yeah.
Ideas
That's
has produced just some killer sets recently. So
Yeah. What was the recent one? Wonka? Was that the most recent?
yeah.
I think so. And then the Tuscan Village or the Italian Riviera set up from the summertime.
And
Yeah, how
then
could you forget Twilight?
Twilight,
Wow.
yeah.
I
And
mean, probably the best set of all time.
BTS, one of the other great idea sets. Well, then we have Goonies and what was the other one?
Gremlin.
Gizmo,
Yeah.
the Gremlin. Yeah, that was another one. That was contests though, so that's different, I think.
Because
They
Tintin's going to be
count,
one,
but they
right?
don't.
So that'll be really cool.
Which one?
Tintin.
Oh,
With the
Tintin.
rocket?
Yes, Tintin will be. Yeah, I've never seen Tintin.
Oh, those are worth a revisit. If you're into kind of sci-fi sort of stuff, fun cartoons from like the 50s.
I do like sci-fi.
It's like
so,
retro
yeah.
50, yeah.
Yeah.
Retro 50
Although the
sci-fi,
rocket
like Futurama.
looks like a German V2 rocket. So surprised
It
that like the
does.
Germans who freaked out about the Osprey didn't freak out about the the German V2 being reused.
Yeah, that's a rare set. The Osprey. I wish they would come out with it. It was a cool set.
That was a cool set.
Well, are you all ready? You're saying some words over here. We're talking about sets, some numbers. Even in our conversation, we talked about how many different ways there are to put together some Lego bricks. So I think we've, unbeknowingly to you all, we may have talked through some of these future questions of this ultimate Lego quiz. So Garrett, thank you for joining us. If you want to give one last shout out of where people can find your work.
Yeah, so I am at all your favorite podcast listening apps. You can follow Back2Brick podcast. That's Back2Brick. And you can also go over to my Instagram, BackTWOBrick. YouTube, same thing. And if you want, I do have instructions over at Back2Brick on Rebrickable. I have trained and done this many a times. So that is my podcast voice.
There's the plug. All right, folks, are you ready for the ultimate Lego quiz?
Let's do it.
I was waiting for it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
We're
okay.
good. Yep.
Okay. So we don't have to
Thought you were
cancel the
talking outside
episode.
here.
We don't have to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Cool.
I think we're okay to proceed.
Because if not, I gotta go do work. So like, can we please do the episode, guys? Because I really don't want to open up my laptop again. All right. So I did this right beforehand because the answers weren't actually posted, and when I was doing it, you can't re-answer. You can't not re-answer, but you can't change your answer. So in the spirit of this quiz, you get one time to lock it in, right? You get to lock your answer in once. There's no actually it's when you say it, it's touch move if you were in chess club, and I just proved how big of a nerd I am. So let's change the
Didn't even know
subject
that. Yep.
and get to the quiz. Yeah, so if you touch the piece, you can't take your hand off it. You got to move it. So anyways, so
I think you can take your hand off of it, but you have to move that piece.
you have to. Well, no. You have to keep your hand on it forever.
That seems a little extreme.
It's like those competitions where, like, if you
Extreme
take your
chess
hand
club.
off the car, the last person to take their hand off the
Yeah.
car,
Yeah.
it wins the
Oh,
car.
dear.
So there are multiple choices. So what we'll do is if you get it off the rip, without any multiple choice, I'll give you 3 points.
Okay.
If you need the multiple choices, I will give you 1 point. Actually, you'll get 2. I'm changing it on the fly. You'll get 2 points, but we'll allow the other person to steal, and they'll essentially get a 1 out of 3 chance versus a 1 out of 4 chance to steal. So you'll steal for 1 point. Okay. I'll keep track of the rules. Y'all just have to answer the questions when I look at you and laugh when I say something mildly funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Anyways,
that was the cue to laugh, you guys. All right, we will edit in some laughter, some thunderous applause. All right. So,
All right, Commish,
Garrett,
let's get going.
Garrett, since you are our guest, I will let you go first. And this is the ultimate Lego quiz from, I don't know, Beano.com. There's 10 questions, 5 for each of you. I do have a bonus question in the event of a tie, and it might be a controversial question. So we'll see if we get there. And I don't remember if I said this, but I did this and I got 7 out of 10. So there are some doozies in here because I am a lyrical genius. All right, Garrett, your first question. How many rubber wheels do Lego make every year?
Just multiple choice.
If you want one less point, it is, yeah.
I mean, the largest.
If you guess it off the rip, you get 3 points, or you can do multiple choice and you only get 2 points if you get it right.
They're the largest tire producer in the world now, so I have to figure out how many that is.
I will say multiple choice makes it much easier.
Yeah.
Is multiple
Let's
choice
do
like
that.
1,
Yeah,
2,
yeah.
4 million?
It's in the millions. I know that, but I just don't know
A,
the actual number.
not this one. B, also not this one.
Yeah.
C is the correct answer. D is not this one. No, okay. All right. How many rubber wheels does Lego make every year? 318 million, 100 million, 25, or 150,000.
Yeah, this makes it really hard. I'm locking in the 300 million.
Correct. Ding, ding, ding. Although if I was a stickler for the rules, I'd say it was 318 million, but
Oh, all right.
18
Well,
million's a rounding error in the Lego Tire book. Correct. All right, West. Yeah, so Lego is the
Okay.
largest tire producer in the world, which is a fun fact I think most Lego fans know or have heard. But
It's
now
a
we've got
great
the
one
number.
to share at parties, and
Oh yeah, you'll be the
especially if
coolest
you're
person.
trying to
if you're
attract some
invited to a party.
1x5s. So
Yeah, if you go to the bar on the weekend, just be like, Lego produces 318 million tires in a year, and there's only one of you. Just see how it hits. See how it hits. All right, West, your turn. How many
Okay.
ways, or I guess I'll read, I think it's from a different language because some of the questions are a little weird. It's also from 2024, so we're only a year old, so just, it's pretty recent. You can combine 6 of the 8 studded Lego bricks in how many ways? So 2x4s. How many ways can you combine 2x4s? And since I gave Garrett an 18 million window here, I'll give you one as well.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna need the multiple choices on this one because I think we even talked about it on an episode. But
yeah, and unfortunately, I just gave you a really big hint. So, how many ways can you combine 6 2x4 Lego bricks? Is it 50, 200 and 200,500, 915,103,765? Seems oddly specific. Or is it 6?
okay, wait. I'll take C.
Is C?
Yeah,
Can you repeat that number?
I can't. But
there's no letter options. I need
Yeah, I
the
had to
A
say
and
it,
B.
he almost docked me points.
A and B are also correct. So the odd number at the end of D would be incorrect. So it's got to be C.
All right, we'll give it to him. It's 915,103,765.
Isn't that D?
No, that was C.
No, that was C.
Wait,
You're
so
right.
is that not the one you wanted to answer?
No, that's fine. Sorry, I thought I heard 900,000. Never mind. We're good.
It's 915 million. Is that the answer you meant?
That was D, right?
No, that was C. So I'm not going to give you any points because
What? I asked you to repeat them. Oh my gosh.
This is going very well.
This is
Wes
this
gets
is
0
par for
points.
course for me. So
this is what we do to West. He's one of these days he'll get to host the fun quiz, and I will look like a fool. All right, Mr. Garrett. Lego comes from the Danish phrase "leg godt," but what does that mean in English?
Play well.
Oh, 3 points. Didn't even need the multiple choice, and poor West is sitting here with 0.
didn't know you speak Danish.
Somebody's
I have
a genius.
the full phrase. I have the full phrase in my office.
All right, West. Another high number one for you.
Great.
How many Lego bricks would it take to reach the moon? There's a reason I made you go second.
All right. No, I'm going to pause this and I am going to use the internet for 2 seconds, not to answer that question, not to look up the question, but to see if I can answer it using, as the Brits would say, maths.
I was thinking the same thing. What's the size of a 2x4? Oh wait,
Yeah,
is that
the
what we're
height.
what
It
is
says
that?
it says brick, so the height of a brick.
All right, so
3 plates
okay,
tall.
what's the
1
height of a brick?
tall.
The difference of how many miles is that away? That's like a million.
Well,
Miles
Wester
or
may or
more?
may not be an
think it's more.
aeronautical engineer, so
Oh well, that's cheating.
yeah, the internet
That doesn't
wasn't.
necessarily give me a leg up here. It just means that I can torture myself with math.
So West has been disqualified.
But all right,
I want to see
hit
him
me
math
with
it. I
your
want to see this math it.
hit me with your okay, yeah, well, let me hit me with
I was
your
gonna say, bro got 2 seconds into mathing it and just said, "Hit me with the multiple choice." I've got it now. I've worked out the math. I just want to make sure you've got the right answer.
well, it's gonna take me a second to like work this out. So
You can't do it in your head. I thought you were an aeronautical engineer.
Yeah.
no,
man,
I used
dude,
the
come
TI
on.
89 calculator for most of my
89.
college. Yeah, dog, it was like the nice one.
The $100 one that I used maybe for one semester.
Yeah, that you had to use for that class, and then they're just like, okay, now plug in 2 + 5, and you're like, why did I get this?
And don't
damn
save
calc-
any of
like-
the equations we told you needed to save.
Yeah. And now that it's time for the test, everybody turn your calculators in. We will not need one for this test. And you're like, why did I buy this then? Okay, Wes, we bought you some time, but
Okay, give me 1 second.
through the power of editing.
Okay, it's 0.96 centimeters is the height of one Lego brick, is what this says. Okay, well, so yeah, here you go, Grinch. The moon has an elliptical orbit around the Earth, my dude. So are we talking about the apogee or the perigee? Because they're two different distances.
You're talking about a pair of G's, and with Garrett and Grinch, they're going to keep you down at 0 points if you don't guess in 5 seconds.
All right.
I don't know, dude. This is like, this quiz is from a website that like makes BuzzFeed look like a Pulitzer Prize winning like news outlet. I've got some really weird advertisements on my computer right now. I'd like to move on from them. So your multiple choice questions are about 4 billion, 5 billion, 260 million, or 20 million. And for your smooth brain, let me repeat those. Answer A is
it's about
40
4 billion.
Billion.
You said
are you locking that in? It was touch move.
No, you said 40 or 4. You said 4 the first time.
40 billion.
Okay. Continue
Answer
with the question.
B, 50 million with an M. Answer C, 260 million. Answer D, 20 million.
You're a turd. I don't know how they came up with...
I got this one wrong.
I think it's A, but I don't know how they got 40 billion, but I'll go with A.
Ding, 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 ding. That's the power of editing right there. It is A. 40, it says about 40 billion, but between 260 million and 40 billion is a lot. So like, maybe it's actually 26 billion and they just like to round up to 40. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. Sorry. I see how they got there. Yeah, I'm good with that.
You approve?
I approve this answer.
He mathed it.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So what 8 years of college will get you. All right.
Did so well. I did it twice.
I got 2 degrees. I got the same one twice. Mr. Garrett, this is a fun one. This is a little fun Christmas party knowledge, huh? How many Lego sets are sold per second at Christmas? And it just says at Christmas.
Ooh.
I'm going to say like holiday season. I mean, the number's the number
Sure.
here, but obviously they're closed on Christmas Day, but it does say verbatim. It says how many Lego sets are sold per second at Christmas.
What was that last number that we had, Wes? What was it? 40 billion. That's what that might be it. Per second.
Are we
Give me the
here?
answers.
Okay. 4.
How did you get 7 of these right?
Because I had the multiple choice in front of me.
I see.
Yeah. 4 is the first number. The first A is 4. B 200. C 28 or D 1
This is per second.
per second. 60
At Christmas.
per minute, for example.
Sam again.
4 200 28 or 1.
Four.
Ooh, that is incorrect. West, would
It's
you like to
28.
steal?
I'm going to say 28.
Ding, ding, ding. I actually got this one wrong. I thought it was going to be something crazy like 200, but it's 28.
I thought it'd be lower than it. Well, as you can see, 4. 4 per second. 28 per second. That's kind of, well, I guess it's a global thing.
Global, yeah.
Yeah.
That's still wild.
Like as we were talking, like 28 people were just born. So like, you know, when you put it into like that, consider like, but here's the thing we don't know is that like the week before you did like by example. Is it the week before Christmas and like is like each like because like how many times have you gone and bought like 5 brick heads or 6 6 Legos, is pick a brick one set per brick? I mean, who knows? I don't know. There's no source here, so we're just here for the vibe.
I'd like to write a letter to these people.
Yeah.
You can send it to beano.com. Do not go there without ad blocker is all I will say.
Use a
West,
VPN.
this one is for you, and it's a little bit of payback for the last few difficult ones here.
Okay. Like payback.
You have a 50-50. If you get it wrong, Garrett will automatically get the points. Unless
cool.
Garrett, like I'm vouching for you here, so like just
I feel like Wes
maybe I'm so
this.
confidently wrong.
Yeah.
That
it is touch move, it throws everybody off. There are more Lego figures than people on Earth.
Oh, damn it. We just talked about this.
True or false?
I think it's true.
I think you're right. We literally talked about it like 2 weeks ago on an episode.
Yeah.
Isn't every person in the world can have like 3?
No, it was like 1 billion more, but that number was a little old, so maybe it is higher now. Yeah.
I mean, they made a lot of Legos.
Especially with the Death Star, they got 43 there, or 38 there, so that's a lot more, depending on how much they sold.
0. It's the worst set ever.
Yeah, every Death Star you've seen is just a land member, actually.
That's a good one.
getting a little spicy here on AFOLs Welcome.
All right. This one kind of sucks. Sorry in advance, Garrett. But I gave Wes 2 pretty hard ones. So, on average, each person owns how many Lego bricks?
Answers, please.
A, 10. B, 200. C, 62. Or D, 2 billion.
That one is a tempting one. What was B and C again?
B was 200. C was 62.
I'm going with 62.
Very good. I see you've taken the SAT, sir. It was too precise. It was too precise.
There's a lot of people in the world, so I'm like 200 is pretty high. That's pretty high.
Well, again, I didn't know. Like, are they only counting people that have bought a Lego set? Because, like, if
I
you're
think that's
not, then
across the 8 billion
right?
people in the world. Yeah.
We're
How do they know how
thinking
many
way
Lego
too much
pieces
about
have
these
ever been
questions.
produced?
That number's probably out there somewhere. We know they
Is
know
it
the
like-
minifigures.
Does Lego have some like running clock of like, this hour we made
Sounds
this
like
many
a-
pieces?
Sounds like a website an aeronautical engineer should make as he maps the distance to the moon.
And guess what? The moon is getting farther and farther every day.
That's a great point too.
One Lego brick a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually
Because
we need to
I think
take
it's
away
9 inches a year.
Yeah, we need to take away your points
Oh.
because this is actually a year later. So the correct answer was 40 billion and
12.
mathing 12. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
No, let me get my calculator.
He's writing
and
it down.
Let me get my TI-89 out over here.
Well, no, I'm thinking through this real quick because 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. And so if the moon moves away 9 inches every year, right? That's
12 was
roughly,
a pretty good guess.
What's that?
Actually, it's 12.9. So
That's like 23 Lego bricks every year.
Wow. That's
Oh,
crazy.
it only actually moves 1.5 inches. I thought it was more.
God damn it.
Shit. I'm very good at being confident in the wrong answer. You can ask me anytime I go to trivia.
When it comes to inches, we always overestimate, huh, guys? All right. So, West.
Is, yeah, 3 3/4 Lego bricks then. So
now we can introduce a concept called volume. The world's tallest Lego tower stands at 112 feet. But how many bricks did it take to make?
okay, well, what are the odds that you just rip this one off the top of the nugget? Like, go ahead.
I also
question.
got this one wrong.
Here's the other question: is it based on individual bricks or is it based on the super bricks that they use?
Yeah, it's panels. You again, Beano.com for anybody who wants to write an angry worded letter.
Yeah.
I am
their
simply
HR?
your navigators through this journey of a migraine of a Lego quiz.
All right.
Answer
I'll take the
A.
answer.
Well, sorry. Possible answer A, 500,000. Possible answer B, 46,000. Possible answer C, 465 million. Or possible answer D, 10.
You can use the calculation we just did.
I think probably B.
B?
Yeah.
B.
Mr. Garrett, would you like to steal Again, you might not.
Yeah.
You got to account for volume here too. But I mean, we just don't know. Like, this is not very clear. Like, are we talking? Is it 6 bricks, wide? Right? Like, who knows?
He chose B, correct?
Yes, I will repeat the question or answers once for you. A, I mean, I can do it twice too. I don't know why I said once. A, 500,000. B, 46,000. C, 465 million. Or D, 10. I will give you a hint.
C.
It's not B. C? It's also not C. I will take the point as the quiz master.
I thought about
it,
it, but like I've seen sets, or I've seen builds that are 500,000, and it's not. I guess it's one of those wired structured things.
I think it's yeah. I don't know if it's like a 6x6 or what, but yeah. Wes, you're the one with the TI-89. Like, calculate, my man. Calculate.
There's some missing variables here, so I think we're stuck without knowing exactly the size of this tower, other than just the height.
Let's go through the since I'm the guest, let's go through the magic of editing. It's A.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wow. Whoa, wow. Stolen. Dang. All right. Garrett gets 1 point. All right. So I believe, Garrett, this is your question.
Yeah.
Which country buys the most Lego?
USA.
Is that your final answer?
No.
Good, because it's not touch move or anything. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That rule only applies to
playing
West.
chess.
Yep. Yeah, and dude, we're not. Dude, this is a podcast. This is a quiz. Why we keep talking about chess?
I don't know. You keep bringing it up.
I'm trying to think based on population, but I feel like we spend a lot here.
If you're a Bricklink shopper, this is a pretty good answer, I want to say, or pretty easy answer. If I give you a multiple choice, there's one like absolute throwaway. So,
did you pick?
Fine, give me the.
I got this one right.
Okay.
A, Germany. B, Denmark. C, the UK. Or D, Legoland.
Germany.
Ding, 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 ding.
The Bricklink hint was very helpful.
People who are listening can't see it, but Garrett just jumped up out of his seat, threw his chair up in the air out of excitement. It was amazing. Really, really, really.
Ike Berliner.
There you go.
I am a jelly donut.
Yeah, Germany. Yeah, there's a lot of German stores, and I think they have the largest model train collecting too, something like that. So Germany is big into hobbies. But again, we don't know if this is dollars, if it's Lego bricks, because there's a couple of like I think factories in Germany because they like people just buy in bulk and sell on Bricklink. So I wonder if that's where that comes from.
Probably a proximity thing too.
Yeah.
That sounds very German.
And Denmark's just too small. So West, I hope you're a fan of music, because this next question is for you. Complete the name of this Ed Sheeran song, Lego blank.
Lego house.
Oh, snap. I did not think you'd get that off the cuff here too. And let me do some tabulating over here. Do you have a TI-89 I can borrow?
When did that song release?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Actually, I think I do know that.
I think that was sometime. Oh gosh, it was in the 2010s.
1985.
And I think I'm trying to remember when the Lego documentary came out, the one that was on HBO, because I think he was featured in it. So I'm gonna say like 2014-ish, 2015. I don't know.
Oh, I don't actually know the answer, but I think it's 15 too.
You just
I
ask.
also think it's 15, but it could
Let's look this
be.
up.
I got it. It could be. It could also be 2011. So I'm not even.
Could be
2011. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we do have a tie.
That could have been the tiebreaker.
Do we actually have a tie, or did I make that up?
I think we do have a tie,
Actually,
unless I also miscounted.
I might have miscounted, but we'll actually count, and we'll just do the last question for all the marbles. Because as I was looking for this, there was a common quiz that popped up that was from Brick Search. And at the very end, it was like a video, and it's called the 1% quiz. And it was like, oh, 90% of people can get this question, blah, 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 all the way down to 1% of the people can get this question. So I thought it'd be fun to end on it as our final question of the night. And I actually think it's a controversial question because I did some fact checking, and that video was not released too long ago, and I think this is incorrect, and there is actually a 3-way tie between themes. So if you can name the 3-way tie, you'll just automatically win, and if not, whoever can name the most of the 3 wins. But on the video, they didn't actually answer it. They just said, and download the app to find out, which you have to pay for. So, spoiler alert here, breaking down barriers live on this podcast. West and Garrett, which Lego set has the most sets with the word escape in the set name? Which Lego theme has the most sets with the word escape in the set names? Escape.
Spelled the same as escape.
That's funny.
You said it's a theme, right?
Uh-huh.
What were you talking about, the 3-way tie thing?
I personally found 3 themes that had the word escape. I'll even give you the number 7 times.
I'm going with...
In fact, I'm actually looking this up now, and...
City Police.
Okay. City would be the theme, though.
Yes, city.
Okay.
I was gonna say city too.
There's no such thing as City 2. There's only City.
The sequel.
What do you think they'll come out with City 2?
When we're
Think that'll
gone.
ever be a thing?
Yeah.
Lego City 2, where the robbers chase the cops.
Where there are no robbers, where all citizens equal.
That's right. All right. The quiz, I think the answer was wrong because it actually, I'm fact checking live as we do this. I thought it was a 7-way tie, but what I did is to find the answer, because I do not pay for Brick Search, is I just went to Brick Set, searched by set, escape as the keyword, and then I used the drop down to look at the number of themes with that word. The challenge, though, is when you actually click into it, half of the sets they don't have the word escape in them. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just in the description or something. Or again, for example, if you look up escape on Brickset, the set Robo Raider 2151 pops up from 1997. Escape is not in that. So basically, oh yeah, wonderful set. 136 pieces of pure joy. Based off the answers that they gave, it was Castle, Cars, Marvel, or Indiana Jones.
Castle, Cars, Marvel, or
Marvel
Indiana Jones.
or Indiana Jones. And of those, the correct answer would have been Cars. There are 4 sets with the name Escape.
Like
But
Cars is in Disney Cars?
as in Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen.
Kachiga
I've
or
watched
Kachow,
so
whatever it
much of
is,
that.
whatever. Yeah, Wes's daughter was obsessed with
Ka-chow.
that.
It's a great movie.
However, I count 7 sets from Jurassic World with the word escape. And that wasn't even an option. And this quiz was posted in August of this year. So it's not like there's been new sets
some
added.
lazy
Guys,
quizzing there.
Guys. Also, Star Wars has 7 sets with escape.
I thought Star Wars, but I couldn't really. I mean, there's so many sets in Star Wars, so I wasn't sure it was the most.
So I am gonna call shenanigans and say you both win. Congratulations,
Grinch, it's your quiz.
That's not my quiz.
All right, rock paper scissors. Let's go.
Okay.
I simply
with
navigate.
the lag.
Yes.
Oh,
All right,
dear.
ready?
Okay.
All right. Garrett pumps his fist up. Wes goes
Ready?
for the hand smack. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh,
For those that aren't watching and probably see this flawlessly on Riverside and are really confused, while we were recording live, Wes was lagging, so Garrett threw up scissors, and Wes lags but freezes for a second and then throws up scissors of his own. So how about we just do this? I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 3.
I think the guest should win this one.
I mean,
I know that's a cop out. All right, 1, 3.
Oh wait! I actually have to think of it. Hold on.
Wait, you said between 1 and 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do 1 and 10. I got it.
4.
7.
It was 10.
Damn it.
Wait, but Ian, that
job,
means
West.
you won.
Oh.
I will not be coming back on this podcast.
I like it when the guests win. It's more fun that way.
And I'm gonna flip the table.
I will not be
shtick,
speaking kindly about any of the next mocks that Grant makes.
It's okay. It's been a minute, so I need to make some mocks.
Garrett, what's the next Lego convention you're going to?
It's a good question. I don't know. I haven't planned for any of them. What's the next one? The one I really want to go to is in Portugal. And that's in June.
That would be fun.
Probably Brick Road. No, Chicago's before that. I'd like to go to Brick World Chicago. I've not been. So I guess that would be my next one.
Nice.
There's not many down here. There was one in Tampa 2 weeks ago, but I didn't go.
Okay.
It was small.
Yeah. I know there was one in Pensacola a few weeks ago too, but I heard it was also pretty small. So
Love Pensacola. I grew up in Pensacola for a little bit.
But I think Grant, I don't know, are we going to do the Atlanta one?
I don't know when Atlanta is.
I didn't know there was one in Atlanta.
I mean, there used to be Brick Fair, Alabama. Oh yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah, there's one in Birmingham.
Yeah.
I don't know where
I'll
you
be
guys
going to
are.
Brick World Chicago.
I'm in Orlando. So
I'm in the heartland. I can go I'm 2 hours from everything via air. So
via air.
Yeah. I'm one phone call away, so from everything.
There you go.
So no, I'll go to Brick World Chicago. And I want to go back to Brick Fair, Virginia. The challenge is they're just so they're less than 2 months apart. So it's you really gotta it'd be, if it was a full quarter or 3 months apart, that'd be much better. But
yeah,
I'll try.
I've already said I'll go back to Brick Fair. I've got my old lug that I want to see.
The nice thing about Brick Fair versus Brick World Chicago is that it's much more spread out. So it was hard to tell. I think Brick World Chicago was busier, but it's also just way more compact. So it's, when you get a little bit more space, it's, things spread out, I think, a little bit quicker than you think they do,
Yeah.
especially when there's 2 to 3 times the amount of space between tables. Things get really, dispersed very quickly. So
It's still in that big convention center out near Chantilly, right? The Dulles Convention Center.
yeah, but actually, I
Yeah.
thought I read that they're tearing that down, or they sold it to
What?
somebody. Yeah, but I don't fact check me on that, because that might not be true. So
This is why we don't talk about rumors.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just
With the-
just spreading. I'm just spreading rumors right now.
I heard it's canceled.
Dulles Expo Center's gonna come after us.
Oh dear.
Gonna get a bunch of phone calls from Herndon, Virginia, which I already do because I grew up there. So like, I still have a Virginia phone number, and so like all my, like, I know it's spam, or a scam call, because I get
I'll
it's
get
always a
those all the
Virginia
time.
number.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, Garrett, thank you for joining us. That was the ultimate Lego quiz. We'll post it in the in the description, so that people can take it now that they know the answers, or you can try to trick your older brother into taking a impossible Lego quiz and call it the ultimate Lego quiz instead.
And through the magic of editing, I won, everyone.
And our winner, Garrett, thank you. You won a guest appearance on the show AFOLs Welcome.
I want my money back.
Hey, dude, I told you, no refunds, okay?
No, this is fun. I appreciate
thank
you guys
for coming
inviting me on.
Thank you for coming on, and for a peek behind the curtain here, thank you for being flexible, as we had to move it on you last minute last week. So thank you for joining us. And all the listeners, check out the podcast Back2Brick on all podcast providers. Brick Mail. All right. So thank you again, Garrett, for joining us. Tough competition here on the AFOLs Welcome, but always fun. Thank you, West, for being a good sport as usual and putting up with all of my hosting shenanigans. Why don't you take us through the first bit of Brick Mail?
Yeah, so our first Brick Mail comes from Lego Loving Lady, who writes in and says, I would so love a spooky town like the Winter Village each year. And this is in relation to our episode last week about monster fighters. And Grinch, this was your pitch for a future monster-based theme or Halloween theme. She continues, I've put one together with various Lego and non-Lego sets. I missed out on monster fighters, but have wanted the house forever. I enjoy the pod, and I just really dislike the mini dolls. They look like oversized Polly Pocket dolls from the 80s. West, hope your daughter rebounds quickly. See you guys next week. Well, Lego Loving Lady, quick transition there from Monster Fighters to our mini dolls episode, but I think you're right on the money there with the comparison of mini dolls to Polly Pockets. I recall some of our friends in the neighborhoods having them, and I think that's a really great comparison. They are pretty much just upscaled Polly Pockets to some extent. And then an update, my daughter is doing wonderful. Hand, foot, and mouth is no fun, but she is on the mend this week and has almost made a 100% recovery. So we're very excited about that here in our household.
Over the past week, West has been removing his daughter's hand, feet from her mouth. So I think there's maybe a couple toes left. What a terrible name. And what a terrible, they call it a disease. I guess it's like an infection, right? Like
it's a virus. Yeah.
God. Yeah. Just like when somebody first said hand, foot, and mouth to me, I was like I kind of like gestured. I was like, what? But yeah, it's rough, man. Gosh, awful. So
well, and if it comes on strong enough, it literally affects the hands, the feet, and the mouth. And yes, there might be
And
bumps other ways, like it, but it really, to your point about the name, right? Like pretty much right on the money. Once it's kind of in its full, glory, you're like, oh, okay, I see where that name came from.
yeah, we when my daughter had it, we took her in to the pediatrician, and we were like, yeah, we thought maybe it's hand, foot, and mouth, but like these are on her rear end, and like, no, it's actually super common there. But no, but they're not on the hand, foot, and mouth. They're like, nah, dude, this is just you just wait. And I was like, what? Like, you just wait. And oh, they were everywhere. All right. Our next comment is from another Jones. Hi, Grinch and West. I came across your show while looking for spaces that celebrate what it really means to be an adult fan of Lego, and yours stood out for how real and funny those conversations are. I'm a Sacramento based author and AFOL who wrote Brick by Brick Rebuilding Through Play with Lego Bricks. After discovering that sorting and building helped me through anxiety. The book is a part memoir, part creative guide, and it's connecting with adult builders who say it mirrors how Legos helped them through grief, burnout, and change. I'd love to join you for a chat about creative wellness in the AFL world and discuss how play can be a grounding tool and why grown-ups need to build more than ever. Thank you for your consideration, Charlene. Well, Charlene, we did respond to your email. Thanks for writing in. We would love to have you on the show and talk about your book. I think that'll be a very interesting story to tell. We've talked with like the brick archetype before about his book, and would love to have you on. It's a great topic. We have explored and dabbled in this topic. We did a episode on kind of the non-licensed therapy guide of the therapeutic benefit of Lego. So
we probably should have caveated that we are, and by no means can call that therapeutic on our own, right? But
no. We are not doctors, but we did talk about our own personal stories with it, and I think this would be a great follow-up episode to that. So, we're already in touch. Let's continue the conversation, and we look forward to getting you on the show.
Yes, thank you, Charlene. And our last comment today comes from Daniel Harrington, who's written in before. And he's in quick succession. He's back, and we appreciate it, Daniel, because we love hearing from you. And he says, "I just listened. I think you guys have something with this podcast, something that more likely the Lego Group research team should listen to for insight on what fans really feel. Sorry for such a long email here. Use all or none of it in your show to your discretion. I just have lots of thoughts." Which Daniel, we love to share and air thoughts on the show. So send it. And he writes,
"We will air the mispronunciation. We will air the grammar errors, the typo.
Beware.
We got you. We got you."
But Daniel writes, "Sorry for such a long. Oh yeah, sorry. Yep. Monster Fighters was a great theme, and it left an imprint on me at the time it was running. I didn't have any money to afford Lego, so I missed my window. Part of me sort of feels it's too niche for its own genre. However, if Lego did return to their successful themes, then garnish those themes on occasion with the spectrum of creative elements seasonally, I feel like it would be much more of an authoritative and organized sale decision. As previously suggested by West, don't make Monster Fighters its own theme. Put the niche elements, for example, Monster Fighters, into main themes, such as adventures, castles, or pirates, to maximize those elements during the fall." And I think that's kind of the crux of your argument, right? Is like you said, take the theme of like Halloween and horror, and you could do like a space Halloween and horror theme, or like a city Halloween and horror theme, or something like that, versus having it be its own standalone theme. And I actually don't think that was something we called out, Daniel. So I'm going to give more credit to you on that than I think you're trying to throw our way. So because I actually think that's a really great idea. And probably a better way to incorporate like a seasonal change in a way that maybe on its own has proven to be hard to build out. But then he continues, which brings me to my main feeling. If Lego asked a janitor what they should do to simplify and overhaul their uncertain marketing, I would do this. Lego Space. Space needs to be its own theme, not scattered via different title cards like it was. and they need to add much more conflict and nostalgia to the identity of it. Kids today are edgy, and they're not terrified of some monster to battle. Aliens and robots need more influence. The theme is currently too pristine. Maybe throw in a bit of grit. Bring back the bright highlighter greens and the oranges and focus on nostalgically shaped pieces. Lego Legends, which would encompass all the old castle themes with the pirate themes while reinvigorating it with some fairy tale elements. And Grinch, I think we kind of commented on something like this in our re-release / revisiting episode where we mentioned, Lego could kind of have like a nostalgia theme, right? Like, I don't think that's it's our working title, ladies and gentlemen, but, where they could kind of pull back, every once in a while, a theme from the past. But he writes, rather than strictly medieval, make it a time frame loose 15th century. Think Princess Bride for the right frame of reference. Lego Adventures basically combine all the odd elements for that theory about exotic escapism West suggested. And yes, keep the theme innovatively flexible to include elements from Wild West or steampunk and feelings, and keep it roughly 1920s for simplicity. Incidentally, Johnny Thunder is a bit like Quincy Morris from Stroger's Dracula. Lego City, as it is, but bring just a few hints of the old 90s pieces and styling into it, like police headquarters windows that are so nostalgic. My bottom line point, Lego seems a bit disorganized with their content. If just homogenized some of their timeless originality into specified and simplified categories and added creative depth, I feel Lego could safely and successfully resurface or resurrect old themes, nostalgia with fresh takes for older fans and younger fans alike. Sorry for the long wall of text. We'll be listening, Daniel. And Daniel, man, I think you're spot on with your thought process here of how Lego could both realistically and responsibly revisit some of these old themes without maybe, arguably overindulging in, I wouldn't call it fan fiction, right? But like fan indulgence, right? Like we don't need to just bring things back for the sake of bringing things back. But at the same
Fan
time
service.
too, yeah, fan service. Thank you, Grinch. I think this is a really great idea. I don't know, Grinch, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, I love the suggestions, and I think going back to the Monster Fighter one, like they did that with like Arctic, right? Where they do kind of a city Arctic line, like this could be, and it's interesting because I think what you're suggesting is they do what they're doing with space right now, right? Where it's kind of intertwined a little bit, kind of seasonality with some of these, seasonally with some of these themes, and then pull space out of that space, space out of that space. Yes, space out of that space. Which I agree, and I think I liked what you said about Monster Fighters, where like it's almost too niche, and it kind of, West, you talked a little bit about Lego Masters up front. It kind of reminded me of, when every once in a while you'll have two kind of criticisms when it comes to story, right? From the judges, either it's not enough because they're like, what is the story? It's like you just kind of made a person, or they'll be like, holy crap, it's too much story. And it's kind of story soup, story spaghetti. And I do feel like, yeah, steampunk monster fighters set in like the 20s in, a silver screen classic horror is like, that's something like, your 5-year-old kind of comes up with when he like shows you the unicorn that he draw. That's also a medieval knight in the land of Draconia where the dragons fly high and the unicorns have to fight back. Like, just I liked some of these comments that you've laid out. So, and love all your suggestions. I think the Lego Legends idea of almost like the 90th anniversary that they did. You think you could do one set a year. Although with the Blacktron, I don't think that did well, right? Because that came out earlier this year and it's already retiring. So maybe that just wasn't the right set. But there is certainly some finesse when executing something like this, where it's like you kind of, if you do it right, you keep some of these themes breathing, you keep some of these classic elements alive. If you do it wrong, you either overindulge or you pick the wrong thing that maybe people didn't actually care about. So it's not without risk.
I think too, Grinch, to your point, you brought up an interesting idea, or you sparked an interesting idea, which is like if you had the castle theme, right? Like maybe that's where you introduce someone like Dracula, because that in the context of something like Castle or makes sense to some extent. But you don't have to have like all the monster fighters introduced into that,
Mhm.
right? So rather than like making it the monsters a cohesive theme, you could spread them out amongst other themes. And I think maybe
Yeah.
that's the way that you could go about, if you wanted to reintroduce monsters into like the larger Lego. But we've seen that, right? Like we've seen, I mean, look at how like City is basically like everything these days, right? Like
Mhm.
we have this like small city construction line that's been going for the last 2 summers. It just
That's
got like Arctic revisited again in the city. I
mhm.
think we're getting another airport next year in City. Uh, Speculation. Um, we've we know that like City is exploring all of these. I mean, the fact that we got an Arctic train this year was really kind of an oddball. Um, uh, kind of
Uh-huh.
out of left field, right? So we know that like Lego is really trying to do a lot with City, and so like I said, I don't see why they couldn't do like a Halloween like trick or treat set for Lego City or something, right? Like that seems to be like an easy one to do. A pumpkin patch
Yeah,
or
put
something,
a
or
put a werewolf, costume guy in it, like you would,
right.
see
Like
in a
that's
CMF, right? Like, but give
yeah,
him an alternate face, and all of a sudden you got, you could make it a legit werewolf, right? Like, you could hide some of these things. And God, dude, let's not give Lego ideas. Like, they love to do their little MacGuffin, like spread out the Infinity Stones. Like, are we suggesting, I mean, if you're Lego, like, hey, marketing folks at Lego, give me a call, like. You make a
yeah.
big
Hit
deal
us
about
up.
these monsters, collect all 8, and you use it as a way to like get somebody to go buy a Ninjago set that's never bought a Ninjago set. You get somebody to buy a City set that's never bought a City set. God, I hate myself sometimes.
Yeah. Anyways, Daniel, I think those are wonderful ideas. I love that like our podcast has given you the opportunity to think through those, and that you felt comfortable enough to share those with us, because I do think they're great. So keep thinking, and please keep writing in, because love to hear more from you. So thank you, Daniel.
And that is a wrap of another episode of AFOLs Welcome. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you're listening to the show. If you would like to write the podcast, please email us at afolswelcome@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram at afolswelcome. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.